welcome to my DIY. Welcome to the fall wreath-a-thon. How exciting is that? Thank you so much to Nadia from DIY with Nadia for inviting me to collaborate with all these wonderful wreath makers and bring to you today so many great ideas for fall wreath. As you can see, I'm surrounded here with all these beautiful gifts of nature. And to me, that's what fall is all about. Walks in the park, picking up some acorns, leaves, branches that fall off, and enjoying it, enjoying the season. So that's what I want to bring to you, a little bit of that to your home, a little bit nature and the beauty of fall. And most importantly, the supplies will be free. In today's times, I think many of us could appreciate, because I know not everybody can afford expensive decor supplies or a wreath, right? So this is something that you can make, anybody can make. And also, I know some of you are in different parts of the world and cannot always get same supplies. So I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Create your own beautiful fall wreath inspired by nature. And if you decide to still use store-bought supplies, I'm gonna show you what you can get on the budget and recreate this out of the store-bought supplies as well, okay? If you like today's video, go ahead, press thumbs up, consider subscribing. The moment you hit the red button, you become my bestie, and then we will be in touch, okay? All right, let's get started.
So I cut down some hydrangeas from my garden. They're already drying. Actually, everything's fried due to the drought. And then I picked out a different size of pine cones and those spiky balls. What are they called, by the way? Anybody knows? The acorns I have from last year. The new ones didn't fall down yet. If you can't find them where you live, you can get some acorns at a Dollar Tree. Same with the hydrangeas. Pine cones they usually have around Christmas time, but Hobby Lobby also has a pretty good deal. And finally, the wreath base you can get at a Dollar Tree as well. But since I'm making a cost-free wreath today, I'm going to show you how to make a base out of the newspaper. Simply roll up a couple pages at a time and keep adding and extending the roll. Just keep squeezing it so it becomes harder and thicker. Check if you have the desired length by putting the two ends together and making a circle. You can measure with your ruler to see how big is the diameter. And mine is about 12 inches wide. I think it's just so. I won't be extending the length anymore. I'll be just beefing it up and adding some tape here and there to keep it all together. Just keep adding paper until you get a desired thickness. And yes, I'm in the newspaper. I can't use that one. Some of you know that I'm pretty active in the Polish community, and I was a Pulaski Parade Marshal on 5th Avenue last year. So once you get the desired thickness, you are going to put the two ends together and tape them and make a ring. To finish the ring off, you are going to use some brown paper. I like to save the packing paper from packages and the paper bags they give in the stores. You are going to use this brown paper to cover your ring, reinforce it, give it a nicer shape, and of course, nice neutral color. Once it's all covered, I'm going to use the wider clear tape to cover it up. Again, make it stronger and also waterproof. And this is how you make a paper wreath ring completely free and of course recycle old papers. If you like this idea, please give me the recycle emojis. And here's my vision. I like to add hydrangeas on one side, maybe like 1/3, and then 2/3 of acorns. But since I don't know if I have enough acorns, just in case, I'll be adding some larger elements, like the pine cones first. And the trick is to add one type at a time and also in a zigzag pattern. That way they're gonna look appealing to an eye. So you start on the outside, another one on the inside, outside, inside, and so on. Next, I want to add some of these larger pine cones through the center, but since they're a little bit tall, I'm going to just peel away the top layer and cut the center smaller so they sort of resemble little flowers. And then I'm going to glue them to the top and again slightly set them off so they're in a zigzag pattern, just like so. Next, I'm going to start adding acorns, some big ones in the beginning. Next, I'm adding some of those cute little cupules. Just adding a lot of interest. Oh, and I almost forgot to add those spiky balls. Oh, usually you want to add those bigger items first. All right, I think we added enough of interesting elements here, and we should have enough acorns to fill in all the spots in between. And again, one type at a time, I'm starting off with the ones that are just the nuts, without any cupules. You have to fill in all the spots on the inside and on the outside and in between. And if you have any holes like this one, those little cupules are perfect fillers. To fill in the outside ring completely, you might have to raise it up to see better and make sure that you don't leave any empty spots there. And take a look at this. I think it looks pretty stunning, even better than I had imagined. I think it would look beautiful, just a full ring just like that, right? Next, we are going to cover that part of the wreath with the hydrangeas. Just hold it down with your thumb and wrap around with the floral wire. Make sure you tie the knot in the beginning so the wire stays in place. And then just continue adding the flowers and wrapping the wire around them all the way down. I should point out that my hydrangeas are not dry all the way, which I kind of like because they're easier to work with. When they're completely dry, you have to be more careful because they're fragile. So as you can see, I'm trimming the stems because they're a bit too long, and then just adding the flowers from different angles to make sure that they cover the whole ring. And continue wrapping with the wire so they're pretty tight and stay in place. And now that I'm reaching the end, I'm going to add a few heads from the other direction, just like so. And now we need a few more to cover these stems here. Okay, beautiful. And now we got the whole thing covered. Let me just run the wire there one more time to make sure it stays in place. And we are going to cut it off and tie it in the back. How do you like it? I think it's beautiful. Feel free to stop at any point now, but you know me, I have this big butterfly bush in my backyard, and I think these dry pointy flowers will be just a perfect transitional piece between the hydrangea and the acorns. I simply just slide them in under the flowers and the wire that's already there. If you like, you can add a dab of hot glue. I am trying to make it look balanced on both sides. I also have this other type of hydrangea that's climbing, and those flowers are dry with seeds. Very interesting looking. I'm adding these in for a little bit more different texture. I don't know, like I said, it's all preference. Do what you like. Feel free to stop at any time. I also have a lot of vines growing from my neighbor's side, and look at that. That's why I use them in so many of my DIYs throughout the year. But I trimmed one which had some berries on it. I'm thinking that could be interesting to add it across. You know me, just like to experiment. And I use a little bit of hot glue to secure these down. And here's the look at the finished result. A zero-cost wreath. Isn't that amazing? Made out of gifts of nature. What's more beautiful than that? You would have to spend a lot of money to get realistic looking supplies like that. Or you can simply go pick them up yourself for free. If rustic is not your style and you have a metallic spray paint on hand, go ahead, use it. What do you think? So rich, right? Look at all these textures. You can top this beauty with a big, beautiful bow. I have some Dollar Tree ribbon here, and I'm gonna show you how to make the easiest bow out there. It's called the Bestie Bow because it's my subscriber's favorite. 6 pieces of ribbon, 36 inches long. You measure 6-inch loop, pinch like this, and hold with your thumb. And continue measuring and holding, alternating the colors. Measure 6 inches, pinch, and hold. Easy as that. Anybody can do this, even if you are bow challenged. You can do it. Trust me. Just follow my easy step-by-step instructions. And then you are going to grab a floral wire or a pipe cleaner and just tie it tightly, flip it a few times around, and next step is just fluff. Put your hand through each loop, just like so, and then run your fingers through all the tails. Some of these tails need to be turned to the right side up, and then you want to mix them up so you have two different colors next to each other. And the more you fluff, the prettier the bow becomes. That's all. So this would be additional cost of $2.50, but looks like so much more, right? Use the wire from the back of your bow to tie the bow to the top of your wreath, tie a knot in the back, and then make a loop with the remaining wire so you could use it to hang your wreath. If you're not gonna make the bow, you could still thread a wire through the back there, make a loop, and use that as your hanger. It's gonna be invisible behind the flowers. And as you probably notice, you can hang this wreath any way you like, center at the top, upside down, or to the side. Either way looks beautiful. Feel free to trim these tails if any of them are too long and cover too much. Here's the look at the final result, option number 2.
Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much to Nadia for inviting me to participate in the Wreathathon. I am so honored to be in company of so many wonderful wreath makers. Go ahead, check out the list in the description box below and make sure you watch all the other wreath ideas. You won't regret it. Amazing. Thank you so much again for your time. Take care and see you next time. Bye-bye. Coco, say bye. Do you really have to argue with me in front of people? Can't you behave for once? I say one word, you say two. What is this? Naughty bird.